In the winter of February 1959, 9 experienced hikers set out on a trek through the frozen Ural Mountains, unaware that they were walking toward one of the most chilling and unexplained mysteries in history. Days later, when they failed to return, a search party was sent to find them. What they discovered only deepened the horror. The hikers' tent was found abandoned, eerily intact, but violently slashed open from the inside. Their boots, gear, and supplies were left behind, as if something had forced them to flee into the night with no time to prepare. The search party followed a trail of barefoot and scattered footprints leading into the tree line, as if they had been running from something unseen. Their bodies were found in stages, scattered across the snow. Some had succumbed to the cold, frozen in unnatural positions, while others bore gruesome injuries no avalanche or animal attack could explain. One had a crushed skull, while 2 others had broken ribs so severe they should have been caused by a car crash. Yet there were no external wounds present. Stranger still, one hiker was found missing her tongue and eyes. When their clothing was tested, traces of radiation were detected. Theories ran wild: a military experiment gone wrong, an unknown creature lurking in the mountains, or even something far more unexplainable. Adding to the terror, locals had reported seeing strange orange lights in the sky on the night of the incident. Soviet authorities quickly closed the case, their final statement vague and unsettling. The hikers had died due to a compelling natural force. But what kind of force rips open tents from the inside, crushes bones without leaving wounds, and leaves radiation in its wake? Decades later, the mystery remains unsolved, and whatever happened that night in Dyatlov Pass may never be fully understood. It began in 2016 when US diplomats stationed in Havana, Cuba started reporting something strange, something terrifying. Without warning, they were struck by an invisible force, a sudden unbearable pressure in their skulls, followed by a piercing metallic noise that seemed to come from nowhere. Some described a sound like grinding metal or high-frequency buzzing. Others heard marbles rolling across a hard surface. And then, the sickness would set in. Victims suffered from crippling headaches, dizziness, blurred vision, memory loss, and in some cases, brain damage. Medical tests showed concussions without any external injury, as if their brains had been attacked from the inside. At first, it seemed like an isolated event, but then it spread. Cases began surfacing in China, Russia, Europe, and even Washington, D.C. All reported the same symptoms: the sudden pressure, the strange noises, the lingering sickness. Was it a secret microwave weapon? A new form of psychological warfare? A foreign power testing an unknown technology? Investigators searched for answers, but the cause remains unknown. In November 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York bound for Genoa. She was manned by Captain Benjamin Briggs and 7 crew members, including Briggs's wife and their 2-year-old daughter. On December 5th, the merchant ship was found drifting aimlessly in the Atlantic Ocean. It was fully stocked, its cargo untouched, its sails still intact. But something was terribly wrong. The crew had vanished without a trace. Their personal belongings remained in their quarters. The food was still in the galley, plates of meals left uneaten as if the crew had been interrupted in the middle of dining. There were no signs of a struggle, no distress signal, and no explanation for why an entire crew would abandon a perfectly seaworthy ship. The only lifeboat was missing, but a ship's logbook last updated 10 days prior gave no indication of danger. Investigators were left with nothing but unsettling questions. Had they been forced overboard? Had something emerged from the depths and taken them? Some believe fumes from the alcohol barrels in the cargo hold caused mass panic, forcing the crew to flee into the open sea, never to be seen again. Others suspect pirates, violent mutiny, or an unexplainable force lurking in the ocean. Stranger theories suggest a sea monster, an underwater earthquake, or even something not of this world. The fate of the crew has never been uncovered. The Mary Celeste remained intact, but forever empty. A ghost ship carrying nothing but silence and secrets. And to this day, no one knows what happened on that cold December night, or why.